A lot of students in India want to attend top elite colleges to kickstart their careers. The overseas education world has multiple magnets to tap the attention of millions of international students, especially from India, and especially for those who prefer to study abroad after their 12th. But with the declining acceptance rates at top colleges, college admissions are getting competitive for everyone. So in this video, we'll be discussing how to get into highly competitive and selective universities like Stanford, MIT, and Harvard after 12th as an Indian student. First, let's try to understand what makes it so difficult to stand out in the applicant pool for Indian students. More importantly, we'll also discuss how to improve admission chances at top colleges as international applicants from India. Pain points for Indian applicants. An extremely large pool of qualified applicants. Possess fewer distinguishing qualities. Too much emphasis on grades and test scores. Not too many strategies and tactics behind extracurricular activities. Too much craze for STEM majors, hence competition. Treat community work as a box that needs to be ticked without demonstrating passion and consistency. Blindly chase the Ivy and elite colleges and ignore the best fit and demonstrated interest factors. Struggle with essays. A significant majority of applicants start very late. Disadvantage if you happen to be from non-IB. Working with professional college admission counselors turn out to be an expensive affair for several families, which can cost as high as 7 to 10 lakhs for the end-to-end guidance process. Common things required to get into elite schools like MIT, Harvard, and Stanford. High test scores. Doing extremely well on your SAT, ACT, and AP exams will show admission officers that you are a hard worker with stellar academic achievements. It helps to keep admission officers interested in your application. Having a spectacular SAT or ACT score is important and completely uncompromisable. High GPA. Most top-ranked US universities follow the approach of holistic profile evaluation. Having a high GPA score will ensure the interest of admission officers in your profile. Spike in extracurriculars. Pursue impressive extracurricular activities. Try to demonstrate excellence through your participation in a club, activity, or sports that you are interested in. You need to showcase extracurricular activities that allow you to demonstrate your commitment and leadership abilities. It shows the officers that you are capable of so much more other than just academics, making you a good fit in the student team. Community service. Every college likes to have students who are good citizens and want to do good. Leadership and community service is your avenue to show them how you have made a difference and how you plan to be a good community citizen. Volunteering in your community is a great way to show your generosity, empathy, and your kindness. It is also a great way to impress admission officers. Recommendations. After your coursework, letters of recommendation play a very important component in your application. You will require at least 2 LORs from teachers to apply to most top-rated US schools and institutes. Well-written essays or statements. This is one of the most important components of the entire admission process. Your essay should do 2 main things. It should show the admission officers what an original, interesting, and driven person you are, and that you have top-notch writing skills. You should have taken the time to write an essay that is meaningful to you and leave enough time for yourself to proofread it when you're finished. Most essays are 250 to 500 words long. Your essay should describe your experience, ambition, and why you're applying to the particular program. It should also identify why you're the perfect candidate to be admitted, and it will also help you with your long-term passion or goal. Unique things required for MIT, Harvard, and Stanford. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also known as MIT, is known all around the world for its outstanding teaching, training, and research. Despite not being an Ivy League, MIT is one of the extremely competitive schools to get into. Required courses. MIT recommends that all international students study 4 years of English, mathematics at least up to the level of calculus, 2 or more years of history or social studies, biology, chemistry, and physics. MIT essays. For the latest application, MIT asked for the following 5 short answer essay questions. Describe the world you come from. For example, your family, clubs, schools, community, city, or town. How has that world shaped your dreams and aspirations? You have to write these in 250 words or fewer. Number 2. Pick what field of study at MIT appeals to you the most right now and tell us more about why this field of study appeals to you. 100 or lesser words. We know you lead a busy life full of activities, many of which are required to you. Tell us about something you do simply for the pleasure of it, which is 200 to 250 words. At MIT, we bring people together to better the lives of others. MIT students work to improve their communities in different ways, from tackling the world's biggest challenges to being good friends. Describe one way in which you have contributed to your community, whether in your family, in your classroom, or in your neighborhood. And this should be written within 200 to 250 words. Tell us about a significant challenge you have faced or something that didn't go according to plan that you feel comfortable sharing. How did you manage the situation? 200 to 250 words. A few tips for writing MIT essays. MIT does not ask students to write a single long essay. Instead, the school asks applicants to complete multiple short answer essays. Write about something that inspires you and use this opportunity to show the school that you are a thoughtful person. Through your essays, the admission officers will want to learn more about who you are and what makes you right for their college. Your essay should tell the unique story about you, about your background, and how you became the person you are today.
When it comes to Stanford, getting admitted is no joke, and there are certainly no set-in-stone guidelines for one to follow that ensure one's acceptance in an Ivy League or elite college like this.
You have to understand what Stanford wants. Admission officers at Stanford are trying to figure out, are you likely to have a big impact on the world? Will you have a positive impact on the Stanford community? Do you have intellectual vitality, which means taking significant responsibility for your learning process and learning about things that you truly care about? Stanford also looks for qualities like purpose, passion, meaning, character, and leadership from the students. Checklist for Stanford application. Coalition application or common application. $90 non-refundable application fee or fee waiver request. ACT or SAT scores. School report and counselor letter of recommendation. Official transcripts or academic results. Letters of recommendation from at least 2 teachers. Mid-year transcript by February 15th. Tips for Stanford essays. Stanford has become one of America's most selective universities with an admission rate of 4.4% for the class of 2023. Typically, there are 5 short questions with a limit of a max of 50 words and 1 essay with a range of 100 to 250 words. You are required to provide direct answers. Be honest with what you write, but also think critically about the different aspects of your personality you are highlighting with each answer. Try to vary the responses so that they don't all cluster around only 1 or 2 activities or themes. Stanford is looking for an extremely authentic 250-word portrayal of your character that could distinctly identify you from a crowd of essays. If you got to meet your admission officer in person and only had 60 seconds to pitch yourself without using anything from your activities or awards, what would you say first? If you were legitimately writing a letter to your roommate at Stanford, what would you want them to know about the prospect of living with you? With a thin acceptance rate of around 5%, not every student gets a chance to be at Harvard. Thousands of high school students apply to Harvard every year. There is no accurate roadmap that guarantees your entry into Harvard, but having a better perspective and knowledge can help you step up your chances of selection. The first process to get into Harvard is by applying online through their website. For doing this, the online application has to be submitted with the application fee, which is $75. You also need your mid-year school report. When you apply, your school counselor will often send you transcripts with few or no senior year course grades included. That is why the mid-year school report is required. You may also need a resume. Not all Harvard grad schools require applicants to submit a resume though. Mostly graduate schools that prefer work experience require resumes. Portfolio. Certain schools like Harvard Graduate School of Design require applicants of certain degree programs to submit a design portfolio. The portfolio requires you to visually represent your scholarly, academic, or professional work. You should also focus on leadership. Become a leader. Harvard is always looking for future leaders and brand ambassadors for their college. Here are a few Harvard facts. Harvard application deadlines. Harvard acceptance rate. Required GPA and test scores to get into Harvard. Harvard University fees for Indian students. Here are some tips for you while writing your essays for Harvard. Be original. Write something that only you could write. Show what makes you special. Show your strong character. Tell a story that demonstrates your persistence, work ethic, creativity, or even your ability to learn from your mistakes. Be compelling. Hook the admission officers from your opening line and keep their interest with your lively language, varied sentences, and engaging topic. Be concise. Don't go over the word limit. Admission officers will be reading thousands of essays and they won't appreciate it if you can't follow simple directions. Get feedback. Run your essay by a trusted friend, family member, or your English teacher if you can. They can help you catch grammar mistakes and they can also tell whether your essay has its intended effect or not. Always proofread your work. When you're done, check your essay for grammar and punctuation mistakes. Remember that admission officers aren't just interested in the content of your essay, but also in how well you can write. Here are a few tips and tricks to get into top colleges like Stanford, Harvard, or MIT from India after 12. Start planning early. The biggest challenge is that students don't plan their high school years at all and only in grade 12 start thinking about colleges. Students from India are smart and driven, but if they start their journey in grade 8 or 9, it can help them a lot. If one starts thinking in grade 12 about colleges, there is no time to build your application and it can get quite stressful. Focus on learning and impact while writing the college essays. Writing an essay is easy, but writing about oneself is not. Essays are all about show and not tell. Students find it hard to express themselves on paper and reflect on themselves. It's the learnings and reflections which must come out in an essay that most students struggle with. Colleges want to know what kind of a person you are and what values, strengths, and even weaknesses you have. Leverage summer break effectively. Summer is an extremely important time as colleges want to know what the student is doing during the spare time. Based on one's interest, the student can do just about anything. The sky is the limit. Online classes, summer camps, volunteering, internships, jobs, part-time, freelancing, writing a blog. There is no one size that fits all. Put enough time on preparing college list. The list of colleges must be a right fit for the student where they can flourish and be happy. There are over 4,000 colleges in the USA. A well-balanced college list should have 2 to 4 dream colleges, 4 to 6 reach colleges, and 4 to 6 safety colleges. Bonus advice for students in grade 11 or 12. If you are in grade 11 or entering grade 12, focus on your activities outside your classroom. By now, you must have identified your interest, passion, and must continue to work in that direction. Summer is a great time to find an online course. Needless to say, your grades must be consistent and should not drop from a high to low unless you have a valid reason. That was all for this video. If you found it helpful, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Thanks for the 3,000 subscribers, and finally, thanks for watching.